Good morning. I'm Hugh Safford. I'm the Regional Ecologist for the Forest Service's Pacific Southwest region. Welcome to Sonoma State University.
And I am Lenya Quinn-Davidson. I'm a fire advisor with the University of California Cooperative Extension up in Humboldt County. I cover Mendocino, Trinity, Humboldt, and Siskiyou counties. And I'm also the Northern Region Coordinator for the California Fire Science Consortium. And we'd like to welcome you today to Sonoma State University and to the Living with Fire Symposium. Hugh and I are your MCs for today, so you'll hear a lot from us. And today, this morning, we're going to be introducing you to the symposium topic, talking a little bit about our sponsors and our organizers, and talking about our logistics.
I've recently entered the age of permanent reading glasses. Stretching inland to the Great Valley, the region between Santa Lucia Mountains and the Mendocino coast supports large areas of wilderness and extensive agricultural landscapes, as well as some of the most densely populated areas in Western North America. The landscape, the climate, and the productivity of the land have drawn people to this part of the world for thousands of years. But beneath its soft surface, nature has a hard edge here that demands respect and adaptation. Natural disasters are a constant menace in the region, yet their episodic occurrence and the short memory of man leads to a surprise at the ferocity of nature, and tragedies ensue that education, foresight, and planning might have forestalled.
Now, as we all know, in October of 2017, wildfires devastated the communities here in the wine country of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. And as this initial shock wears off, it's time for us to consider the event from a broader perspective. Large wildfires have occurred in this area, in this region throughout the past, and they will occur again in the future. Remember the Berkeley Hills and Marin County fires in 1923, the North Bay fires in 1964, the Oakland Hills fires in 1991, Lake County in 2015, Monterey and Big Sur in 77, 2008, 2016, and so on. These events do not necessarily need to be tragedies, though. Preparedness requires that we understand the causes and the nature of wildfire in this region and how human communities and infrastructure might better interact with the ecology of fire.
The Living with Fire Symposium is sponsored by a coalition of educational, fire and resource management, and extension organizations. The event brings together experts in fire ecology and management, community planning, fire safety and preparedness, and global change. The principal objectives of the event are threefold. First of all, to educate people about the ecology of fire in the Central California Coast Ranges and its relationship to humans, ecosystems, and natural resources. Secondly, to discuss current patterns and trends and likely future trends in wildfire and the factors that influence those trends. And finally, to explain what agencies, communities, and citizens can do to enhance fire risk, to reduce fire risk, sorry, don't want to enhance fire risk, to enhance community resilience to fire, and to better accommodate fire as the inevitable and, in many cases, essential ecosystem process that it is. So we've organized this event, it's a 3-day event, 2 days of presentations and discussion and a day of field trips. Day 1 is focused largely on objectives 1 and 2. We might call those, what are the issues? And day 2 is largely focused on objectives 2 and 3, largely, what can we do about them?
And this event was really only an idea in our heads in the early winter, but it's kind of a miracle that we pulled it off. It happened really quickly. For that, we can thank the many people who volunteered their time to participate in the symposium's planning organization. We're going to thank each one of you here, and we ask you to stand as we announce your name and remain standing as we introduce folks so that we can look around and see who put this together. The first person I'm going to introduce is actually not with us, so we'll just recognize her for all of her good work, and that's Sasha Berleman, and she was with the Audubon Canyon Ranch, and she's actually now on a hotshot crew for the summer up in Redding. David Ackerley with UC Berkeley. Great. Tom Greco and Lisa McKelly from Pepperwood Preserve. Okay. Ben Nichols with CAL FIRE. Great. Chad Roberts with Tuolumne. Jay Roberts with Point Blue Conservation Science. Yeah, you guys can just stay standing. That'd be great.
For the whole meeting.
Yeah, just pull their chairs out. Dave Sapsis with CAL FIRE. Caroleon Safford with Sonoma County Fire and Fire Safe Sonoma. Hugh Safford with the Forest Service Regional Office. Kate Steen with Pepperwood Preserve. Scott Stevens with UC Berkeley, who we're hoping has arrived with his talk. Stephen Swain from UC Cooperative Extension. And Dee Swanheiser with Sonoma County Forest Conservation Working Group and the Greenbelt Alliance. Okay, let's give those folks a hand. Thank you guys for all your help in putting this together. And you can take your seats.
We left 3 names off that list because they deserve special recognition. And I'm worried that some of them might be out there frantically trying to register latecomers. But these 3 women were the glue that held the entire effort together, and the quality and the quantity of their work dwarfs the contributions of the rest of us. We simply can't list all of the things that they do. And I'd like you to give each of them a big hand when we introduce them. First of all is Stacy Frederick at the California Fire Science Consortium. Secondly, Claudia Luke from Sonoma State University. And finally, Rebecca Wayman from UC Davis. Thank you so much. I didn't say you guys could sit down, by the way.
I did.
I'm kidding, yeah. Okay, oh, you did, okay.
Yeah.
Got to coordinate better, my fault. I want to also note that many people also volunteered for the conference, for helping the conference with the conference on the ground, and we'd like to thank them for all their help. If you guys have volunteered and you're in the audience, would you mind standing up real quick so you can give you a hand?
I guess all the volunteers are still working.
Volunteers, we're talking. Oh, they're working, yeah, exactly. Thanks for working. Yeah, if you're available, you shouldn't have stood up because we know you're not doing anything as a result. That was a trick. Also, I want to note that 44 people received scholarships to attend the event, largely funded by the U.S. Forest Service Pacific Southwest region.
So we'd also like to recognize our sponsors, beginning with our major sponsors who provided monetary support of $1,000 or more, or major levels of logistical support. So these are, and just hold your applause, I'll just list them off and then we can recognize them. Sonoma State University, CAL FIRE, the U.S. Forest Service, UC Cooperative Extension, the California Fire Science Consortium, the Pepperwood Foundation, Sonoma County Resource Conservation District, Sonoma County Forest Conservation Working Group, the Community Foundation of Sonoma County, and they are sponsoring the recordings and proceedings of this event with a $10,000 sponsorship. So that's really amazing. Other sponsors included Sonoma County Water, Fire Safe Sonoma, the Sonoma Land Trust, Sonoma Technology, and FIRE, which is an open access scientific journal. So thanks to all those. Give them a hand.
Okay, so we're about ready to begin. We're starting a little late. California, that's pretty common. I didn't grow up in California. I come from Germanic and Swedish background and always get uptight when things go late. But you know I shouldn't, because California is by far the least on-time state in the union. Studies have shown. Anyway, that's fine. That's cool. Don't worry about it. In fact, we don't even have our second speaker here yet. Oh my God, what are we going to do? I'll just tell jokes, I guess. Anyway, we want to cover a few logistics before we begin, and I'm going to probably make a hash of this. First of all, I want to note that in terms of getting information, most of you have whitish or maybe greenish name tags. A few of us have orange name tags, and that suggests to you that we might have an idea of something, and you could ask us a question and we might know the answer. So I'm one of those. I don't know many answers. I'll give you a few answers here in a second. Anyway, if we have orange, we should be able to answer your question. Also, with some stuff, just logistical, again, with respect to bathrooms. Bathrooms are on that side of the building, and the way to get to them is out these exits and go that way, all right? Back down towards the end of the building. In case of earthquake or other emergency, this is the procedure, go out those doors. If it's an earthquake, you need to give it a second. Don't be heading out when it's rolling, all right? This building is in Roanoke Park, it is earthquake proofed. If we get an 8.5, I don't think it's going to help many of us, but anything less, we should be able to get out. Those doors lead to ample stairwells, which lead outside of the building. After the quake is over, we'll get out those doors and head out to a safe space. Let's see here. Evaluation forms. So we really want to know what you think about this event. We have sort of made a little bit of a cottage industry out of these sorts of events. And we want to know what we can do better, what you thought about it, how it influenced the way you think, those sorts of things. The evaluation forms are where?
He's going to hand them out, or they can get them at registration.
Okay, here it is. Got it. Okay, these are going to be handed out basically, I guess, during breaks and things like that. Please do us a favor and fill those out. They really, really help us out. And besides, it'll give the volunteers something to do. Okay, terms of break, coffee, tea, lunch logistics, you probably saw, and some of you have taken advantage of the fact that there is coffee and tea on the side of the room. That'll be there until 11, and then it'll be there again in the afternoon from 2:30 to 4:30. There is Scott Stevens. He's here.
Yay.
Woohoo! Okay, so when we're done, we'll load your talk, okay? Cool. Wow, that's great. You just made my day. I wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight. I was going to have to tell jokes during your talk. Do you feel bad yet? Okay. Anyway, okay, so lunch. So if we're assuming all you guys either paid or had a free registration or something, I bet this is California. 10% of these people are rogue, probably, at least, something like that. Anyway, so lunch is going to also be served on the side. There are going to be 2 tables with the items laid out. You need to produce a lunch ticket. So when you walked in this room, you got a green lunch ticket and a yellow lunch ticket. Today's green, I think, right? I believe. And so it says what kind of Sammy you get. So you'll get that. And then please take one of any other item that's up there. I'm talking utensils, napkins, cups, and the other food. Like apparently there's going to be, fruit, chips, cookies, things like that. All right. If you didn't register and don't have those tickets, just go eat somewhere else. There's plenty of food just downstairs. Okay. Let's see. Exhibitors. I just want to draw your attention to the fact that we've got 12 organizations who are exhibiting here at the event, and they're all in the back, and we hope you'll spend some time at their tables. They're very, very interesting and important organizations, and they'll be manned, I think, throughout most of the event. There was a little bit of information Dee gave this to us, that Dee gave us about demographics of people here in the audience. And that, by that I mean from whence you come, not whether you have white hair or gray hair or silver hair. And so I'll just note that interestingly, there are sort of approximately even numbers of people from these groups: firefighters, fire safety personnel, private landowners, nonprofits, local city, county, and state agencies, and academics and scientists. That's very cool. Okay, I think. Wi-Fi password. Oh, here, yeah, okay, so they're actually, I'm not gonna tell them the Wi-Fi password, they'll be on their iPhones the whole time.
Good point.
All right, I'll give it to you just in case. It's called Student Center. Oh, see, they're doing it. Stacy, put that away. Password is Sonoma, and I love it. It has an exclamation point at the end.
Yeah.
But it's a university, it should have a question mark, because we're always questioning, right? Anyway, Sonoma with a capital S and an exclamation point at the end. I do want to note, though, that you should have your cell phones off during the bulk, please, of this event, or at least muted. Okay.
Great. Okay. A few notes on the organization of the symposium. We've divided this event into 7 topical sessions, so they're spread over the 2 days, and then we'll have the field trip day on Wednesday. And we'll tell you about field trip logistics tomorrow, so don't worry about that. You'll hear about that before you get out in the field. Today, we're going to hear about these topics: fire ecology and fire history of the Central Coast Ranges, understanding the wine country fires, and then fire and humans. Tomorrow, we're going to hear about what does the future hold, the wildland-urban interface, fire and your home, some of those topics, land use and community planning, and then landscape management, collaboration, and education, and learning to live with fire.
Each session includes 2 or 3 presentations by experts in the topic area. Then there will be 30 minutes of discussion after each session. So we're asking each presenter to provide about 5 minutes at the end of their talk for direct questions to the speaker. If you have a question, you actually just need to get up here wherever we've got mics. I see 2 of them here. I think that's all I see. All right. We really need you to talk into the mics because this whole thing is being recorded. And I want to note that the 30-minute discussion section, we really don't want to reserve that for too many direct questions with the presenters, although that's fine and probably apropos in many instances. But we want it for general discussion between the panel of speakers and the audience, but also among the audience in general. It's really important that your questions and your comments be concise. We are really here, we're trying very much to provide a venue for as many people as possible, as well as many opinions as possible. So speakers, please stick to your scheduled time. Chris here is going to be, he's got the 5, 1, 2, and 0 things. And what that means is you're going to get a 0 when you've got about 5 minutes left, okay? So you don't need to freak out, but it'd be great if you could finish then. And then at 0, either Lenya or I will stand up here, and then we'll pull out the hook at a couple minutes later. Great. Oh, yeah, please turn your cell phones off. Don't forget.
Okay, great. So lastly, we just wanted to say that we are coming into this event knowing that this community is still spiraling from last year's tragedy, and that many of the organizers and the speakers are not from this community. So we want to recognize that. We want you to know that we respect your local experience and your local knowledge, and we really hope that this venue, this event, can provide a venue for scientists and community members and agency folks to really work together toward a more resilient and fire-adapted future. It's important for us all to remember that California is the most fire-prone state in the Union, and nature and fire in California go hand in hand. So if we want to live in close proximity with nature, we've got to learn to live with fire. So thank you, and we'll have a great day.
Okay, great.